morning, San Joaquin, and welcome to another episode of Tales and Tips. And today we are going to be talking about everything Lodi Lions. And before we jump into that, I'm really excited that my good friends are here. I just want to give a shout out to the Clements School and Community Center. Dave Ingram, fire chief of Clements, just stopped by, and we are doing a show highlighting their organization next week. And he was talking about how they are not using any community funds to revitalize that facility. It's all sweat equity and fundraisers to try and make that a great place for the community of Clements. And so we want to give a shout out to them, and we'll be hearing all about it next week. And awesome. And every other month they have either an omelet or a pancake breakfast. And I've gone to a couple of those, and I can just say positive things. And I encourage you, if you're available on the weekend when they do that, to go out and support them for this worthy cause. And they have a Facebook page. I believe it's Clements School and Community Center, and we look forward to hearing all about them next week. All right, onward and upward. And today we are going to be talking about Lodi Lions, and I'm so excited to have my good friend Ellen Ashbaugh, who is the current president, and Bob Quenzel, who is a past president for the Lodi Lions. Take it away. Welcome.
Hey, nice to be here, Julie. Thank you so much for asking us. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the 80th anniversary of Lodi Lions.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Coming up, we got a lot of good things coming up, yes.
On March 8th, we are going to partner, actually, with the WOW Museum in Lodi. We're going to have an event from 12 noon until 5. But the highlight of the event, which has totally blown me away, is Jose Hernandez, the astronaut from Stockton, is going to be speaking at the event later in the afternoon.
Amazing.
And follow up with what the WOW Museum has now with some of the exhibits that they have. They have an incredible space, it's weightlessness and showing you how the astronauts would be in the air. So that will be open. You can purchase the tickets at the WOW Museum. They're $35 a piece for adults, and they're $8 for children, 17 and under. And children must be accompanied by adults. It will be a closed event, so your membership won't count that day. But come, we want to raise everything that we raise that day is money that is going to go back to the WOW Museum for their new expansion.
That's awesome. And once again, the date on that?
March 8th.
Which is
a Sunday. So it's coming up not all that far off. So again, you can buy your tickets at the WOW Museum, or you can go to LodiLions.org and pick up tickets there.
And it starts at noon?
Noon. And Jose, we're not real sure what time Jose will be there because he's flying in internationally that morning and is having to be picked up in San Francisco at the International Airport. But we're when we get closer to the day of the event, we'll be able to have a better time.
But that's amazing that he's going to be there. And I feel such connectivity to your club, not only because you're an offshoot of the Stockton Host Lions, which I'm past president, but your club is such a strong force in the community for making a difference. And I have so much respect for you and what you've done with your presidency.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. We just finished something. Bob Quenzel is here. Bob is past president, and very, very special man to me because we just finished a $45,000 improvement at Emerson Park in Lodi. Have a wonderful lion figure that weighs 2.5 tons. And
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can actually
Tell us
ride
about it.
Yeah,
you can. Yeah. And Bob is in my leadership Lodi, and we are graduating tonight. Bob is amazing.
Hey.
Everything you talk about community, his hands have somehow touched it. If it has anything to do with planting, he's there.
Yeah, we love to give to the community. Lodi is such a special place, Lodi Stockton, and we just want to make it nice. The tot lot that we did is specifically for younger kids, and boy, the minute we finished that thing, we took the ribbon down and there were kids all over it. They were
playing.
Just, yeah.
Where is that park located?
It's on the corner of Hutchins and Elm Street. No.
Right.
Hutchins
It's between California and
Yeah.
Hutchins on Elm Street.
Yes.
Awesome.
And it's been there forever because there was a
it's old
school
park,
there
yeah.
years and years and years ago, and it's had baseball fields. And my late husband played softball there when he was a young child, and it was the place to go.
Awesome.
And the safe place. And one of the things about the park that a lot of people don't understand is they had a tot lot there several years back, and because of ADA specifications, they had to remove the lot, or they had to remove the playground. It wasn't safe for kids. And Lodi didn't really have places for children with physical disabilities, some sort of a handicap, to be able to go and play. And my 5-year-old granddaughter has a mild case of cerebral palsy, and so there wasn't a playground for her that she could maneuver and walk. Well, now this playground, thanks to Bob Quenzel and Rich Prima and the Lodi Lions Club, they made it happen.
That's awesome. And I know there's someone else in the community who has a child with special needs and has been fighting as well. I don't know if you guys work together on this, but it's huge. We need to give kids, especially, every opportunity to be the best that they can be. Kathy DeGroot, who's also in our Leadership Lodi, is now running Parks and Recs, and I'm sure she was pivotal in making this happen as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And Jeff Hood.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done any of it without Jeff. Rich Prima, that is in our club, was the Public Works Director for the City of Lodi. So he stepped up and saved us an incredible amount of money. And
The City of Lodi period stepped up with the electric department with their crane to hoist in that line.
Oh, that was so amazing.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And you've got pictures. I've seen pictures on Facebook. So how long did this project take, and do you want to talk about some of the specific features a little more?
Bob was first vice president when my late husband was president, and my late husband had really been passionate about trying to put together a playground. He was really upset.
Wow. So
And
this is several years in the coming. Okay, I didn't realize that. This
And
goes full circle for you then.
It does, and that was his dream. And so when Bob took over as president, we talked to the board, and the board wanted to challenge the club, and so
I got goosebumps.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And we challenged the club.
I do too, because that's full circle. I didn't realize that this started with your late husband.
And then we challenged the club, and it was amazing to me because we made it happen in about 18 months, wasn't it, Bob?
We just took his legacy, his desires, and made it come to fruition. Just
Wonderful.
They were
just for-
incredible.
just
They were
for Alan.
incredible.
That's awesome.
And it's dedicated to his in his memory. And
Beautiful.
it's
That's perfect.
Yeah.
and I laughed because everybody was there the day that they did the last and had the inspection. And I got a text because I was out of town, and the text just said everybody was looking up in the heaven and going, "Yes, Alan, we've got it finished. You know, you're telling us it's about time you got it done." And that it's so they embraced the fact
Wonderful.
that it was his passion. He really wanted to see
Beautiful.
it happen.
Rich Prima was just the
Oh, he was incredible.
the nut and bolts behind this whole thing. He was leading it, and he did a great job.
Awesome.
Without Rich, we wouldn't.
No, we
it
wouldn't
wouldn't have
have.
got it done.
That's
No.
awesome.
And with what we're doing at the WOW Museum, Rich is going to be president year after next. And I, again, challenged them and said, we need to be visible in the community. And that was the one thing that I wanted this year, was us to be able to be out there and be seen. And let people know that we're there, because a lot of people don't understand what service clubs do and give back to the community. And
And
really
they're dying.
They
we
are.
need to stop them from disintegrating. They're so pivotal.
Well, and I don't know about you, Julie, but when my father passed away 11 years ago, he had 55 years of perfect attendance in Kiwanis. So I was raised in a Kiwanis, in an environment with Kiwanis.
Kiwanis is a good club too.
I know it is,
They're all
and
important.
I mean they all
And Bob
are.
belongs to
Yes.
Kiwanis as
Yeah.
well.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
but you don't realize just how. I mean, that he dedicated his life. They'd travel. He would be cross country, but he had the directory, and he'd make. He always looked to see if there was a club.
And you
meeting.
can go to a meeting. You can do a meeting makeup. And now the service clubs are moving away from counting attendance to that degree and finding people because they feel that it turns people away. But yeah, people would travel all over and go to makeup meetings for Rotary, for Lions, for what have you.
Absolutely. Just come and help as you can. And
Yes.
yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just giving back to
Yes.
the community and get involved. I've made so many friends at Lions Club, and it's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just amazing.
And helping
Yeah.
locally and helping internationally. And in my Rotary Club, Sally Snide and Dan Ingram have both
Absolutely.
been pivotal in the WOW Museum. But I love that you have really worked hard to do things with the WOW and help them to improve. You were there for Ag Day. We should talk about
Oh.
Ag Day.
Oh, my word. Jin Young came and spoke to us about it.
That's the head scientist at the WOW Museum, in case you don't know.
And Jin really impressed all of us. And I mean, we talked about it after the club meeting because they needed some sponsorships. And we put a board vote out by email, and the next day I had a check, and we were over and were being one of the sponsors for it, which really prompted us to understand more of what WOW does. And for those of you that don't know, it was in October, and the community stepped up and they brought animals, they brought machinery, they brought harvesters.
Huge.
And
We
they
celebrated Ag.
Absolutely, and it was on the street, and they had over 2,000 kids there that day looking and seeing it. And I mean, AIM Manufacturing, Claude Brown and his partner, they designed the grape harvester that looks like an upside down U. And they had one of those there that the kids could
Awesome.
climb all over. And that's hometown, that's Lodi.
Yeah.
That's
And if we don't inspire kids to be interested in ag, then it will die out in our community. And it's so fundamental, not only locally and throughout our state, but throughout our country and internationally. We're such a breadbasket for so many areas with agriculture.
well, and I mean, we have to support the kids. There was an article the other day about FFA and how and 4-H and how important it is for kids to join these organizations, because that leads them into the fact that they get into high school, they're belonging to these, and then they see the importance of giving back and servicing in the
Yes.
community. So that's where Lions and Rotary and Kiwanis come in, that we need to instill that in kids early.
And FFA and 4-H now are not just about agriculture. They're about leadership. They're about building self-confidence, self-worth, and the tools that they gain early on will carry throughout their lifetime and help them.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
what WOW's got coming up, all their future plans, it's going to make Lodi, it's going to put Lodi even more on the map. It's going
Definitely.
to be a really neat facility if it comes to fruition.
It'll come. They've already
sure,
bought out
yeah.
the majority of the other side of the street, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna-
they're waiting on one building.
I think what's interesting too about the WOW, if you haven't heard, one of the things that sold us this year on participating with them, the WOW is not just a museum for Lodi. When you look at the demographics and you see how many kids come from all up and down the state and the valley. I mean, I think, Bob, wasn't about 15% of the attendees are from Lodi, 20 some odd percent are from Stockton. People take the train from Fresno and come to Lodi.
Perfect. It's right near the
It's-
train. The train.
got it. You got it.
The central area is right there. And it stands for World of Wonders. And it's amazing because it started out very small and very grassroots, and it's just grown exponentially. And it's a very, very, for those of you that haven't been there, it's a very hands-on museum for kids of all ages, including adult kids. And you get to basically conduct experiments all the time, and they have machines and different things that teach you, but they're all interactive.
Well, and they are. Yesterday, I was over there, and they had a group of homeschooled kids that were spending the part of the day there. And when people come in, that's why they love the WOW Museum loves Emerson Park, because they send people to Emerson Park because we have the Lions Den over there, and the kids come in, they bring their lunches, they go over to Emerson Park,
Perfect.
they have their lunch, they play, and they drive home. So
Perfect.
Emerson, which is Lions Park, gets double
Wonderful.
duty because the WOW supports us too. So
Awesome. That's a win-win.
it is.
So let's talk about why you wanted to be club president and explain to our listeners and viewers what that means, what kind of a task that is that you've taken on. And let's talk about what you're most proud of during your presidency.
You know, it's interesting. I am proud of the club because they've stepped up to do some pretty incredible things. And supporting the WOW Museum has proved to be, it's an inspiration to us, because I think it's, don't you think, Bob,
Yes,
it's
yeah,
motivating everybody to give back to the community. When we started talking about it, we could finally talk about the fact that Jose was coming and this was what the event was. I stood there and watched club members raise their hands and say, hey, I'll donate, I'll donate, I'll donate, I'll donate. And I mean,
You have a very generous club, very warm, welcoming club.
we do, and they stepped up, and what we thought was going to be our obligation with this event, we will probably in 1 year raise everything that we needed to raise to support the WOW and to do what we were going to do at the WOW. So they inspire me. They've been there for me for the last 3 years since my husband passed away. And they've always been there to support me. So it's giving back to not only them, but giving back to the community.
And how can people join? Can they just show up? Do they have to be sponsored by someone in your club? When and where do you meet?
We meet at Burgundy Hall on Wednesdays at noon.
That's at the fairgrounds.
At the festival, the Grape Festival grounds. And just come and join us. We love to have visitors. We love to hear about everybody in the community and what they do, because everybody brings a different skill set and brings a different inspiration.
Even if you don't do anything in the community already, you just want to start to get involved. You're new to Lodi, you're new to this area. Just come and have a free lunch with us and learn about what we're about, because Lions is about giving. Givers gain, we serve. I mean, that's all. That's what we're about. So.
Well, Helen Keller challenged, Lions has been 102 years. And when they had their 5th anniversary in Chicago, Helen Keller challenged the Lions Club in Chicago and Lions International to support people with sight impairment and also hearing impairment. So our main focus is to help give back to the community in that. And I mean, we spend quite a bit of money. We've helped, I think, 40 people this year just get eyeglasses that need assistance taking care of getting your basic glasses.
And you collect eyeglasses also, used eyeglasses, so people can bring that to your club. And also you have an optometrist in your club that they can drop off glasses.
They can also drop off glasses at
Lowell
the
Center.
Lowell Center on Washington Street in Lodi.
Okay.
And there's a little, like a mailbox, so you can just put them in the mailbox.
Perfect.
And it's huge. The eyeglasses, eyeglasses is probably obviously the primary thing for Lions. We are helping with diabetes. We're starting to put more emphasis towards helping with diabetes.
Because diabetes is known to be the cause in the decline of your eyesight.
Yes.
So because of the
It's
connection.
connected, and there's such a huge increase in diabetes. And before you go into that, and what's the name of the optometrist and the location where you can drop off glasses?
Well, Deke Grewal actually works for Kaiser now,
Okay.
but Zyder Eye, you can do it. And also at Mike O'Connell, he is a chiropractor in our club. His office is on Pine Street, and he does also have the drop-off. But, I mean, wasn't it 2,500? We sent off 2,500 pairs of glasses just
Wonderful.
recently
Yeah.
to the Lions in Sight
Yeah.
Foundation.
You can go online to the Lions Club, and you can look us up there. We can meet you someplace, get your
Sure.
glasses if you can't
Give us a call.
get out. Yeah,
Bob's
absolutely.
our contact person, and yesterday we also have a medical equipment loan program that was started, gosh, it's been 10, 12 years ago. And Bob got a call yesterday from a Scoutmaster, one of the Boy Scout troops, and he wanted to borrow some wheelchairs because they want to teach the kids how to handle proper care of people that are in wheelchairs. And
I want to actually put the kids, the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts right in in the chairs and let them feel firsthand what's going on with, how it feels to be in a wheelchair, and that's part of a merit badge they have to get to get to their
Awesome.
Star Scout. And
So we made it happen. We got the wheelchairs from our loan program, and we're in the process of revamping the loan program because
I didn't even know about that. This is the first time hearing. That's awesome.
Salvation Army refers a lot of it, but we have to be very, very cautious because when you do, it's a temporary loan situation, and you do have to sign in order to be able to take it. You do have to sign a form to be able to take that, and then we do have stickers on them, and we expect them to be returned to us when those pieces of equipment are no longer being used by whoever it is.
That's
So-
awesome. And how can someone listening or viewing reach your club?
You can go to, we have a website, and it's lodilions.org. And you can just go on. And actually, I got another message yesterday from someone that had a question about eyeglasses. And
You have a Facebook page?
we do have a Facebook page, and we are working very diligently to upgrade that. But this year at our crab feed, we had a lot of people that went in and bought about a third. I think about 100 people went in and bought tickets online for the crab feed through our website. So
Awesome.
that's a significant improvement over years gone by.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. And what are you doing to gain new members?
Well, right now, we have started something. We are going to be having a social event the last meeting day of the month at various and different sites. Our first one's going to be at Five Windows next Wednesday night.
Oh, it's in
And
the evening.
It is in the evening.
My
and,
Rotary Club does that too.
And we're just looking for people to realize that we're human beings, that we might be having fun when we're at a club, but it's nice to be able to get to know the members and the members' wives and
Yes.
socialize outside of the regular club meeting, because
And not just sit for a talk.
or listen to a speaker, which this year Debbie Baker's been in charge of all the speakers, and she's done an outstanding job providing speakers for us.
Awesome. Did you want to give a shout out to the rest of your board?
Have an incredible board. Incredible board. First vice president is Darlene Carrera, and then we have Rich Prima. Mike O'Connell has been longtime secretary, and then we have Larry Dold. He actually has just recently moved out of the area, but he's still keeping until next year. Immediate past president is Scott Meyer. He works for Suncrest Bank, so he's here and available for most anything. And if you have never seen Scott, he's 6'7", so you can always pick him out. And then we have Ninfa Herrera and Debbie Baker. I'm missing somebody. Celia Edwards.
Brian
and
Hickenbottom.
Brian Hickenbottom.
Yeah,
And that is the group that's
Awesome. And we've talked a lot about WOW. Any other community organizations that you work with or that you want to give a shout out to? You mentioned Salvation Army.
Salvation Army. Mark, this year we rang the bell with Mark Theolbush. We also did something that was
That was fun. I got to volunteer with you with that. And that
we
was
had
amazing.
a ball, didn't we?
Yes.
The one thing that a lot of you, we've seen a lot lately of the mobile shower with love. So a couple of years ago,
Kelly and Mary.
Carolyn and Mary. A couple of years ago, we started making personal care kits at our Christmas party. Rather than buying Christmas gifts for the kids, we decided we wanted to implement a service project. So we did the personal care kits, and the kids just have a ball doing that now rather than a craft or something like that. So this year, we partnered with Vienna Convalescent Hospital, and they actually did 150 of the kits. We provided all the
Wow.
materials, and they did the kits. So we donated 150 Salvation Army, and then 150 to Showered with Love.
Wonderful.
And it
Thank
was
you. That's huge.
it was incredible. I mean, the people, to see the people at Vienna become active participants in this Esther.
What a great way for them to give back to the community.
It was wonderful.
That's huge. That's awesome that you spearheaded that. And Kelly and Mary are amazing. I've followed them from early on, and to see the work that they're doing, and now they're 4 days a week throughout the community is just
Isn't that
phenomenal.
wonderful? It's wonderful.
It's really great, and I know
puts a lot of love back in the community.
definitely. And they started out just volunteering with the Modesto organization. I've had both of those groups on the radio recently, and they're just amazing, and they're helping people in ways that I don't think we truly understand.
And I love to see the pictures, the before and after pictures, because that just proves to me that what they're doing is
It's life-changing.
it really is.
That's awesome.
And they work toward making sure that they're helping the entire focus. So if the people do need some mental health help, they are
They're
there
trying
to
to
help.
connect them.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's wonderful. All right. Anything else that you'd like to share or add? Bob, come back and talk about your
Leadership
presidency.
Lodi.
And Leadership Lodi.
Yeah, Leadership Lodi was amazing. It's real neat to. I love Lodi. I mean, I just love Lodi, and
Don't we all?
I came from the Bay Area, and what loving, caring, gentle people are in Lodi. It's just amazing. So Leadership Lodi was a great class that Julie and I and 9 others took, and it's every year you can you pay a fee and you just get Lodi in a different perspective. You have
Behind
to,
the scenes.
Yes, absolutely. To talk to the chief of police, the chief of the fire department. You get to go back and see how they work and what they do, and the whole city of Lodi. It's just amazing. The nonprofits that are in Lodi was overwhelming to me.
The Teen Center is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They are great.
Boys and Girls Club. We had a hard time voting on who we were going to do our project for. We ended up doing some nice stuff for the Lowell Center, and it was turned out really nice.
Which we couldn't have done without you.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
My crew, yeah. Well, I got some good guys. Anyway,
But they have a good leader.
thank you. I do want to touch a little bit on membership. Please, if you're listening, you got any kind of inclination about joining a service club, pick one. It doesn't have to be Lions, but today we're talking about Lions. Pick a service club and get involved in the community. It's amazing. It's just simply amazing.
And it's not just what you do when you volunteer in the community, it's the people that you meet. I mean, Julie and I met because I had a sick animal and didn't know that she was president of the Stockton Host Lions Club, which sponsored our club 80 years ago. And the connections, and to become such good friends as we've become through all of this, it has never ceased to amaze me. Yeah, it does. And that's the connections that you make, right, Bob?
Life is about relationships. Mm-hmm. It's all about relationships.
Well, and I love, and you didn't mention this, that Bob stepped up when your husband was passing and was ill and took over the rest of his presidency. And
then took his year on, too. So
that's a huge undertaking. To be willing to do that is just phenomenal.
My hat off to him.
More goosebumps are piling up.
I know. Yeah. And it's, that's how we are.
And we serve. Lions' motto is we serve. Bob mentioned it earlier. And it's true. And to me, that's what I love about it is Lions are very boots on the ground. I'm in Rotary as well. And yes, we're somewhat boots on the ground. But honestly, I will say that Lions is more so. And I really like that. Rotary raises money and gives out money, which is hugely important. We all help in different ways.
Well, and I like the international aspect of most of the service organizations. I was in England about 2.5 years ago, and it was a day of the week. I looked. They had breakfast. I walked down where we were staying and had breakfast with some Lions from Newbury, England, and Newbury, England. It was fabulous. Hearing what they do, and everybody raises money in different ways, and it's important in different areas.
Yes,
how
everyone has a role
they step
to play.
up, right?
Yes.
How do you think we can interest the younger generation to take part in service clubs?
That's a good question. Millennials, they need to get involved. You know, our club is 80 years old, and that's about the age of most of our members.
Excuse me.
Not you and I, but
Present company not included here.
All service clubs, though, tend to be a lot of older members, to be fair, and not a lot of the 30 and younger. My Rotary Club has a satellite club that actually doesn't have official meetings. It's all just social, and there's a group of people that's very attracted to that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that has always, when I was in bank management for 30 years and lived up in Southern Oregon, and that's when I joined Kiwanis, and my bank supported it, and that was part of it. I don't think that businesses are as supportive as they could be.
They don't value it the same way.
And I don't like the word should, but I think that they could be more supportive and saying, hey, you're out in the community, and I mean, Bob did my front yard. Bob did my front yard because Bob's in Lions Club with me, and
it's a win-win.
That's right. And you think about the people that you have lunch with, and that you do these service projects. You think about those people first when you need services or you need help for something, because those are your brothers. They are your brothers and sisters in your Lions Club group, and they're family.
And I know we're talking about Lions, and I keep going back to Rotary, but Rotary started because it was a group of businessmen that wanted to help promote each other's business to a certain degree, and it's branched out from that. And I think to some extent a lot of the service clubs have gotten away from that, but that's a huge added value, that you're promoting your organization and you're making these meaningful relationships with other people in the community. And I think because of that, there is a return of business back to you.
I agree. Don't you, Bob?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Doing business with people you know and love is,
And trust.
Yeah.
Trust is a huge thing.
Oh, huge.
Any final words?
Thank you, Julie, for making this happen for us today. So, March 8th, go online, come join us at the WOW Museum, and come meet Jose Hernandez, I think, and celebrate the 80th birthday of Lodi Lions Club. We would love to have you come.
And celebrate WOW. That's a winning combination. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Bob?
I'm looking forward to meeting Jose myself, and I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid.
And you even changed vacation plans. He was going to spring training, and he even changed plans so he could be there.
Awesome.
So
that's dedication.
Thank you, Bob.
Yes.
All right, and I want to thank both of you for being here and for everything that both of you are doing in the community. You're such huge role models, and to me, you make the world a better place every day.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you very much. This is
So
fun.
do you.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, I'm going to sign off. I am the voice of San Joaquin. You are the voice of San Joaquin. We are the voice of San Joaquin. Let's make it a